Okay, so you know how we do these deep dives.
Yeah.
You hand us some stuff and we dig in.
Right.
Today is all about getting that six-pack everybody wants.
The holy grail for a lot of folks.
I mean, who doesn't want those rock-hard abs?
Right. I'm sure there are some people out there, but
Yeah, of course.
by and large, pretty popular goal.
So we've got this guide, ultimatesixpack.pdf. Very creative title.
Straight to the point.
But we're going to do more than just, skim through it.
Right.
We're going deep on how this thing claims to build, strength and definition in your abs.
Really understanding its approach, its methodology.
Our mission is to go beyond just, what exercises to do.
Absolutely.
We want to get the principles, the why behind it all.
The underlying mechanisms.
At least you know what this guide claims are the mechanisms.
Right, exactly. It's all based on what they're presenting.
Right.
So yeah, this guide, it presents itself as this, kind of a results-driven plan.
Okay.
It says it's based on research, tested by athletes.
Mm-hmm.
All that good stuff.
So real science.
Well, that's what they want us to believe.
Right.
They suggest that these very specific sit-up routines they lay out are like super effective for developing both the power and the appearance of your core muscles, so your abs and obliques.
I see.
And they say it works by like speeding up the growth of those muscle fibers, the ones that fire quickly.
Yeah.
And the neural connections that control them.
So like faster results than you'd get otherwise?
That's the implication. Yeah, rapid development, that's what they really hit on.
Okay, well, we all want that, right?
I mean, who wouldn't?
So let's get into it.
All right.
It starts off pretty basic, definitions and stuff.
Always a good place to begin.
Right. A rep is one complete movement.
Like up and down for a sit-up.
Exactly. And a set is a group of reps done together.
Makes sense.
Simple enough.
Yeah, foundation laid.
Then it gets into how often to do these routines.
Consistency is key, right?
Totally. They recommend every day or every other day if you need a break.
Gotta listen to your body.
For sure. And they actually specifically say that women can cut the reps in half.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was a good touch.
Yeah, acknowledging those potential differences.
Yeah.
Smart inclusion.
So the exercises are laid out from easiest to hardest.
Okay. A gradual progression.
Yeah. Which makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's a common approach in a lot of fitness programs.
Like you start simple and then build up.
So your body can adapt gradually.
Exactly.
And you're constantly challenged,
So you don't plateau.
Yeah, that's the idea.
So the first one they cover is the classic normal sit-up.
Ah, the OG.
And they get pretty specific about how to do it right.
Good form is important.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
you lie on your back and put your feet under something to hold them down.
An ab board, if you have one.
Right. Or even just like a sturdy piece of furniture.
Works in a pinch.
And you keep your knees bent the whole time.
Right.
They say that helps protect your lower back.
Less strain.
Yeah.
Though I do wonder if it might shift some of the work to the hip flexors instead.
Interesting point.
Something to think about.
Okay, so then your hands go either across your chest or lightly behind your ears.
But no pulling on your neck.
They're very clear about that.
I gotta protect that spine.
So the actual movement is all about curling up.
Smooth and controlled.
Yeah, from your head to your lower back, lifting off the floor bit by bit.
Until you're basically sitting up.
Right. Then you hold it for a second at the top.
Squeeze those abs.
And slowly lower back down.
Nice and controlled.
They even give you ways to make it harder.
Like if it gets too easy.
Yeah, using an incline bench or holding a weight plate.
That's that progressive overload they were talking about.
Right, always challenging yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, so next up we've got the twisted sit-up.
Adding a little rotation.
Yep, it's basically the same as the normal sit-up.
Okay.
But as you come up, you twist your upper body.
I see.
So your elbow comes towards the opposite knee.
Targeting those obliques.
That's exactly right. Elbow to left knee, then left elbow to right knee.
Gotta work both sides.
For sure.
Yeah.
They also say you can add weight to this one too.
Even more of a challenge.
Yep.
It's cool how just a little tweak to a basic exercise can really change which muscles you're working.
And make it harder too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then we've got crunches.
A classic.
This one's a little different. You lie flat, but your calves are up on a bench.
So your hamstrings are at a 90-degree angle.
Right. Hands behind your head, all laced together.
Okay.
And you lift your hips and your shoulders at the same time.
Engaging both upper and lower abs.
Yeah. They really emphasize that simultaneous movement.
Makes sense trying to hit all parts of the muscle.
Yeah. And you exhale hard as you bring your shoulders towards your hips.
And hold it at the top for a couple of seconds.
Right. 1 to 3 seconds, they say.
Really feel that burn.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting how they try to combine upper and lower ab work in one move.
Yeah, I thought that was clever.
And that hold at the top is key.
How so?
It maximizes the time your muscles are actually under tension.
So it's working them harder.
Exactly.
Okay, next we move on to leg raises.
Now we're getting serious.
This one's all about that lower abs.
Okay.
You lie flat hands under your lower back for support.
Got to protect that spine.
Legs slightly bent, feet off the floor.
Okay.
And then slowly lift your legs up.
All the way up.
Until they're above your hips, then slowly lower them back down.
Sounds tough.
They do give an easier version, though.
Oh,
just bringing your knees to your chest.
More manageable.
Exactly.
With leg raises, it's really important to do them slowly.
Why is that?
So you don't use momentum. You want those lower abs doing the work.
Right, not just swinging your legs up.
Exactly.
Okay, after that, we switch to a standing exercise.
A change of pace.
Yeah, side bends.
Hitting those obliques again.
Yep, so stand with your feet, shoulder with the arms at your sides.
Okay.
And then bend sideways towards the floor.
Like reaching down towards your ankle.
But keeping your hips facing forward.
So the bend is all in your torso.
Exactly.
Isolating those obliques.
You inhale as you bend.
Deep breath.
Hold it for a second at the bottom.
Feel the stretch.
And exhale as you come back up.
Okay.
They say you can hold a weight in the hand on the side you're bending towards to make it harder.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And of course, you got to do both sides.
You got to stay balanced.
For sure.
It's interesting how these side bends target a very specific movement.
Yeah.
That lateral flexion of the spine.
That's the scientific term for bending sideways.
Okay.
Okay. Next up is sit up with leg raise.
Now we're combining movements.
Yeah, this one's a little more complex.
I'm intrigued.
So you start on your back, like with regular sit-ups.
Okay.
But only one foot is anchored, the other leg is straight out.
Okay.
As you do the sit-up, you bring that straight leg's knee towards your chest.
At the same time?
Yeah, the movement has to be synchronized.
So your torso and leg are moving together.
Exactly. And you can add a weight behind your head if you want.
To make it tougher.
Yep. And then you switch legs, of course.
Got to work both sides.
Right.
This one seems like a real test of core stability.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just lifting, you're controlling that leg movement, too.
And that single leg raise probably makes the obliques work harder as stabilizers.
Makes sense.
All right, then we get to the advanced rotation crunch.
Okay. The name sounds intimidating.
It's definitely more complicated.
Lay it on me.
So you start in a partial crunch position, abs engaged.
Already working.
Then you bend your torso slightly to the left and hold. While you're still bent left, you lift your torso a bit higher and hold again.
So a two-step lift while bent.
Yeah. Then you come back to a higher, more upright position and hold.
Right.
Then you do the whole thing on the right side.
So bend right, lift, hold, come up, hold.
Exactly. And they're really adamant about keeping those abs tight the whole time.
Constant tension.
And switching which side you bend towards for the second half of your reps.
To keep things balanced.
Right.
This one sounds super targeted.
It is.
Like it's all about really precise control of those oblique muscles.
Yeah.
You're doing static holds and dynamic movements at different angles.
Pretty intense.
Definitely requires a good understanding of how to engage your core.
For sure. Okay, last one is lower stomach vertical leg raises.
Working at home.
This one's all about those lower abs again.
Right.
Lie on your back hands under your hips for support.
Okay.
Legs straight up towards the ceiling.
Got it.
And then you lift your pelvis off the floor a little bit.
While keeping your legs straight.
Yep, they have to stay vertical the whole time.
Sounds like a reverse crunch, kind of.
It does. They say you should really feel it in your lower abs.
I bet. So this is all about isolating those lower abs.
Yeah, those can be tough to target.
They can be stubborn.
And by keeping your legs straight up.
It forces those lower abs to do the work.
Exactly. Okay, so those are all the individual exercises.
That's quite a list.
Now they put them together into routines for different levels.
Makes sense.
For beginners, they've got 4 sets of 10 to 15 normal sit-ups.
Okay.
2 sets of 10 twisted sit-ups.
Got it.
3 sets of 20 side bends.
All right.
And 2 sets of 5 to 7 crunches.
Quite a workout.
It is. They say to do it every day or every other day.
And start slow build up gradually.
Yeah. And women should cut the reps in half, remember?
Right.
They also say if it's too much at first,
Yeah.
just do fewer exercises.
It's about listening to your body.
For sure.
This beginner routine seems like a good starting point. It hits all the major areas.
Upper abs, lower abs, obliques.
The whole shebang.
And it's flexible. You know, you can adjust it as needed.
That's important, especially for beginners.
Totally. Okay, then there's the intermediate routine.
It's stepping it up.
1 set of 30 to 40 normal sit-ups.
Wow, that's a jump.
Yeah, 4 sets of 20 to 30 crunches.
Okay.
2 sets of 20 to 30 twisted sit-ups.
Got it.
And 3 sets of 20 leg raises.
So more volume overall.
Yeah, and those leg raises really target the lower abs.
We talked about that.
It's all about building endurance at this stage.
Pushing those muscles further.
Exactly.
Oh.
And finally, the advanced routine.
The big leagues.
This one's for the serious folks.
Okay, what's on the menu?
1 set of 50 or more normal sit-ups.
50.
Or more.
Wow.
2 sets of 40 or more crunches.
Okay.
4 sets of 15 or more sit-ups with leg raise.
That was tough.
3 sets of 12 or more advanced rotation crunches.
The super targeted one.
And 2 sets of 15 or more lower stomach vertical leg raises.
Intense.
They recommend doing this one every day too.
This is like a whole other level.
It is.
You're doing those complex exercises we talked about.
Yeah.
And the reps for the basic ones are really high.
So it's about strength and endurance.
It's the whole package.
Really pushing your limits.
Exactly.
Okay, so beyond the exercises themselves,
Right.
they give some extra tips for maximizing results.
Always good advice.
One is to train your abs on an empty stomach.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
The idea is that it helps you burn fat.
Makes sense.
Another tip is to do cardio before your ab workout.
To warm up the muscles.
Yeah, they say it helps with contraction and you get a better burn.
Interesting.
They also say to flex your abs between sets.
Like really squeeze them.
Yep, it supposedly helps with definition.
Mind-muscle connection.
And you should keep your rest period short.
Like 30 to 40 seconds between sets.
Yeah, keep that intensity high.
Keep pushing.
But the last tip is the most important.
Hit me with it.
Your diet is the key to seeing those abs.
Ah, the truth bomb.
It doesn't matter how strong your abs are if they're covered in fat.
You can't outrun a bad diet.
Exactly.
So many people forget that.
Yeah, they focus on the exercises, but diet is crucial.
It really is.
Those tips are interesting.
Yeah, they touch on a lot of different things.
Like some are about physiology.
Like the fat burning on an empty stomach.
And some are more about training techniques.
Like flexing between sets.
Right. But that diet one, that's the foundation.
Absolutely. You got to get that right.
So to sum up our deep dive,
let's bring it all together.
This Ultimate Six-Pack Guide lays out a pretty structured plan.
Yeah, it's got a clear progression.
From easy exercises to harder ones.
Building up gradually.
It emphasizes consistency, proper form, and increasing the challenge over time.
Solid principles.
You should have a pretty good understanding now.
Yeah, of the exercises and the routines.
And how they claim to work.
Right, based on what the guide says.
Exactly.
What stands out to me is how actionable it is.
Yeah.
Like they give you the steps and the rationale.
It's a clear roadmap.
But they're also honest about diet being crucial.
That's refreshing.
It is.
So final thought for you.
I'm ready.
We talked about the exercises, the routines, the tips.
Yeah.
But what else do you think could play a role in getting that six-pack?
Beyond what we've covered.
Yeah, like are there other factors that could affect your results?
Well, genetics definitely play a role.
Like how your body stores fat and builds muscle.
Exactly. Some people are just predisposed to having visible abs.
And then there's sleep.
Huge. For recovery and hormones.
And stress.
Can definitely mess with your body's systems.
So maybe it's not just about the exercises.
It's about the whole lifestyle.
Food, sleep, stress.
It's all connected.
Something to think about.
For sure.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
Anytime.